head inside the cage to Dean Panis.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the TFC cage from Edmonton, Tim Shady Smith.
Sounds as though a helicopter is landing on the roof of the Shaw Conference Center as Tim Shady Smith enters. Here's a guy who has won his last 5 fights. A lot of people we've had. I work on the Team 1260 here in Edmonton, and we had Dean Panis, the ring announcer, on this morning to talk about the card here tonight on pay-per-view. You do like this song?
I like this song.
He thought Sheldon Westcott and Tim Shady Smith, this has Fight of the Night written all over it.
You know what? It could have Fight of the Night. Tim Smith, Shady Smith's a really tough guy, man. He's a real slick submissions artist. And he's going up against, you know what? There's Mitch Clark and there's Sheldon Westcott. Westcott is another phenomenal Edmonton, Alberta prospect in the wrestling department. Tim Smith could have his hands full. If he could work his submissions, this fight could go his way. But when you see Westcott come into the cage, I'm telling you, this guy is built like a Greek god. It is going to be an amazing battle between both these fighters here from, again, Edmonton, Alberta.
Tim Smith says he has mentally improved over the last little while. He talks about it. He's had 10 wins and 4 losses. He told us last night that 2 of his 4 losses, he lost mentally before the fight even started. He just thought he was going to lose, and he ended up losing. He said he's improved mentally, and that's big for Tim Shady Smith.
Hey, he's got 5 wins in a row right now. And against, he's beat Robotham, who's a really good wrestler. He's got Dan Walters, who's a decent striker, and Kevin Dolan, man, the smashing machine. This guy's been around forever. So he's got some decent wins. He's beat Biggerman as well. He's a tough guy, Tim Shady Smith. I'd like to see how things turn tonight.
Back to Dean Panis.
Please welcome to the cage from Edmonton, Sheldon Westcott.
Sheldon Westcott. Now there's a song. He is pumped. He has only had 3 fights. He's won his last 2. His loss was to Victor Bachman, who's on the card later on tonight. That was a split decision in the brawl at the mall. You look at it, he's been training in Amsterdam with some of the best kickboxers in all of Europe. That's going to be a pretty big deal here tonight.
Well, Sheldon Westcott, when he did have that loss against Victor Bachman, I was at that fight. I called that fight. And you know what? Those 2 guys put on a wrestling clinic. I'm telling you, for Canadian MMA, man, these guys are the best. And Sheldon Westcott, with his 2-1 record, he's training with Team Hayabusa. Team Hayabusa is hands down one of Canada's premier MMA gyms, led by an arsenal of amazing trainers. You know what? This is going to be a great fight. And both these guys came out to some wicked music.
What we hear about Sheldon Westcott, beside the nice smile on his face as he's excited to enter, a lot of potential on this guy as he steps into the cage.
Well, the potential of Sheldon Westcott is unlimited. Of course, he's only had 3 fights. So the damage received is very minimal. He's going to be a fresh fighter coming in here.
Sheldon Westcott. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Westcott is 25, 184 pounds, 6'1", and a 2-1 record. Tim Smith, 1 year older, 1 pound heavier, but 3 inches shorter. Not come into factor at all. If the reach ends up being a little bit different as well.
Well, they don't demonstrate the reach here. They don't actually say what the reach advantage is, but I'd give the reach to Tim Shady Smith. He's got some pretty long gorilla arms going there, so he's gonna have a little bit of a reach advantage.
Fight introductions. Dean Panis, the voice of the TFC.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 rounds in the TFC middleweight division. Your judges cage side are William Warwick Jr., Brian Bernhardt, and Cameron Quake. And the man in charge when the bell rings is your referee, UFC veteran, Mr. Yves Levine. Introducing first to my left in the blue corner, this man weighed in at 183 pounds. Representing A-Team, he comes in with a professional record of 10 victories and 4 losses. From Edmonton, Alberta, Tim Shady Smith. And introducing his opponent to my right in the red corner. This man weighed in at 184 pounds. He is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 2 victories and 1 loss. representing the HIGH Training Center from Edmonton, Alberta, Sheldon Westcott.
Well, the fighting doesn't work for you.
Protect yourself at all time, obey my command at all time. If you want out, you have to allow the back to go.
Yves Levine will be running the show on this one. Veteran MMA referee here with the TFC. TFC 10, High Octane. Here we go. Sheldon Westcott from Edmonton, Tim Smith from Edmonton, and
Right
Westcott
out of the gates.
comes right after Shady Smith and hammers him down. Wow! Sheldon Westcott, power early on, and I don't think he wants this fight to last much longer. Great start by Sheldon Westcott.
Well, technically, right now, if he does keep Shady Smith pinned, Shady's better on the ground. And if he could just withstand, like, I wouldn't stop this fight right now. What they do.
That's it.
I believe Shady Smith, yeah, I agree. I believe that was a little bit immature, the stoppage. It was premature. And I think Shady Smith is going to recover from that. He's a ground fighter. And you know what? I agree. I think he's got the right to dispute that. You know what, Yves? I don't know where you come from, but we're in Canada here. We're some tough boys. We can handle that kind of punishment.
Didn't even look like he was taking any damage at all. And Tim Shady Smith thinks that's a little shady, that it was stopped that early. Let's get to the replay. We could pretty much watch this entire fight. I believe it was 29 seconds. Westcott comes in hard on Tim Smith, picks him up, slams him down, and then it gets on, and just ferocious. And here are the punches. And really, if you look at it, they're just shots to an arm, and really nothing there. That is a little bit of a surprise that that fight was stopped so early, and I think Tim Smith might have a bone to pick as he chats with referee Yves Levine. He was kind of just turtling at the time. Maybe that's why Yves Levine looks at it that way. But for Sheldon Westcott, he's got a nice little 3-win streak on the go. And his 3-1 in his career. His only loss was to Victor Bachman, who is coming up next, actually, on our card. Let's send it inside to Dean Pass.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Levine stops this bout due to unanswered blows at 29 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by technical knockout, Sheldon Westcott.
Sheldon Westcott with the victory. And now we're going to send it inside to Chris Lavelle. He'll chat with Sheldon.
Well, I got to tell you, Sheldon, that was a bit of a premature stoppage there. You know what? It did. It looked scary. The punches that were coming through there were very fast. You were connecting. However, Tim Shady Smith is a ground guy. He was covering up. He was defending those shots. I think it may have been a little premature. What were your thoughts? And do you feel that that was a good stoppage, or could that have continued?
Well, it's not up to me or Tim if the fight gets stopped. Yeah, he had his hands up, but he wasn't moving. But when you're fighting a guy like Tim Smith, you know you got to work hard. Thanks, guys. Some people want the fight to go longer, but it's not up to me if the fight gets stopped or not. I just went in there and threw punches till the ref stopped.
Now, Sheldon, when you came out of the gate, that was one of the quickest starts to an MMA fight. You came out, you contained him, your shots were excellent. You definitely had a lot of, the strikes were very accurate. Do you feel that Tim Shady Smith was in danger in the first 30 seconds?
Man, you don't know. I don't know if it hurt him or not. Like, I can't gauge that. So, I just threw my punches. I don't know if he's hurt. He didn't seem hurt, but the ref stopped it.
Well, not every fight can be pretty, Sheldon Westcott. Congratulations on going 3-0 in the Fight Club. Ladies and gentlemen, Sheldon Westcott.